We stand by our journalism. That article is still online. It is unchanged, has not come down, and has an editor's note attached to it. I, on behalf of the ABC, am not humiliated, and we do not regret the article.
Hello, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Watch. And that was ABC Managing Director David Anderson in Senate Estimates today, talking about the defamation trial of the century that wasn't. And what a contrast it was to how the former AG Christian Porter spun it last Monday when he told the media he'd won a famous victory for himself and all Australians.
The ABC has been forced to express regret at the outcome of their reporting. They regret the outcome of that article. That is a humiliating back down for the ABC, no matter what way they want to spin it.
Most of the media took Porter's claims with a large pinch of salt, but 7 News adopted his headline for its tweet that night. And over at News Corp, several commentators also claimed the ABC had been defeated, with Daily Telegraph political editor James Morrow declaring,
"It was a loss for the ABC, an organisation which now sees its reputation as an ideologically closed shop, filled with one-eyed crusaders set even deeper in cement."
Meanwhile, his colleague Sharri Markson took to Twitter to say it was
not a great week for journalism at the ABC.
That tweet has received around 1,500 replies, expressing almost universal scorn. In The Australian, Porter's longtime friend Peter Van Onselen launched a similar attack on the ABC's decision to stand by its reporting.
Once you concede that on the balance of probabilities Porter is not guilty, what's left to stand by beyond unsubstantiated vigilante justice in lieu of a guilty verdict?
And The Australian's Gerard Henderson also relished the opportunity to bash the public broadcaster.
Auntie's activist journos hail a victory that never was. The Porter ABC legal contest demonstrates once again that the public broadcaster is essentially a staff collective.
And adding to the pylon on Sky News was The Australian's Chris Merritt, who told Chris Kenny he was surprised Porter had dropped the case, but the ABC had made key concessions.
They've conceded that some readers, mistakenly in the ABC's view, would have read that story and believed it to be an accusation of criminal guilt. Now, that's a pretty big back down.
Is it really? So what do the experts think of Porter's victory? That is, the people who study defamation law or practice it for a living. In short, not much. Michael Bradley of Mark Lawyers, who acted for the woman who accused Porter of rape, tweeted,
"Forget the spin. The settlement terms in the Porter case are simple. He has discontinued his claim, the ABC paid the costs of the mediation, but no damages, no apology, and the article remains published. What we call a walkaway."
Bradley, of course, had skin in the game, and those mediation costs paid by the ABC to Porter's lawyers did set the taxpayer back $100,000, plus $680,000 spent on the ABC's defence. But Justin Quill, who's often handled News Corp's defamation work, was just as clear about the winner, telling Sky's Paul Murray.
So who's done better? Who's won out of the two of them? Look, I've got to say the ABC. Certainly if I was walking out of a mediation with that result, not taking the article down, not apologising and not paying any damages, I'd be calling that a win.
And writing in the AFR the next day, Quill offered a far more brutal verdict.
In my view, this was a capitulation by Porter.
But most damning of all was Michael Douglas from UWA Law School in Perth, Porter's alma mater, who concluded,
"Christian Porter has been unequivocally, resoundingly defeated. Porter can try to spin this however he likes. He was suing in one of the most pro-plaintiff jurisdictions in the world, with the most pro-plaintiff defamation law in the world, and he has given up."
Almost all media commentators outside News Corp echoed that view. And on social media, former Labor Treasurer Wayne Swan was one of several to invoke Monty Python's famous Black Knight to explain the outcome.
"ABC backing down humiliated. Christian Porter triumphant."
Also speaking to Porter's failure, perhaps, was the lack of comment from editorials in the Daily Telegraph and The Australian. But the Oz still found a way to smack the ABC by running these front-page stories on 3 successive days.
ABC warns reporters against claiming Porter lost defamation bid.
ABC in apology to judge for tweet.
ABC boss's personal apology to Porter.
The ABC says it did not apologise to the judge for any tweets, and Anderson did not apologise to Porter for the story. As to an initial tweet about the settlement, since deleted by the Four Corners executive producer, Anderson told Senate Estimates,
That was a tweet by Ms Neighbour, which was factually incorrect. It didn't accord with the deed of settlement. So I had concern about that one, yes.
What action did you take when that was brought to your attention?
I called my Director of News, Mr Gavin Morris, and advised him that he needed to get on to Ms Neighbour and make sure that that was corrected.
Anderson's grilling at Senate estimates today from the likes of Senator James Paterson came against a backdrop of rising anger among coalition MPs, some of whom claim the ABC is running a campaign against them and who cite the Porter case as proof. And to get a flavour of that anger, here is Liberal stalwart Michael Kroger on Sky last week in a full-blown attack on the ABC and its chair, Ita Buttrose.
Ita should resign. I mean, Ida's been a terrible failure. I know there are many people in the coalition, including people in the cabinet, who regret her appointment. She and some of those board members should go. She's lost control of the board have lost control of the managing director. The managing director has certainly lost control of news and current affairs. Buttrose should go. She should go and go quickly.